Hello, my name is David McCracken and I'm the print curator at Peacock Visual Arts, Aberdeen. When thinking about the title, slow motion, maybe encapsulated many ideas surrounding printmaking, looking at maybe the dictionary definition of slow motion that actually re-examines an event but in minute detail, maybe with an emphasis on skill, sort of in a way encapsulates a lot of what we do here at Peacocks. Everything moves quite slowly. Printmaking's not a kind of high octane activity, but it is an activity which takes incredible skill, but a bit like a tailor might see the devil in the detail. A lot of printmaking is very exact and deals with the minutiae, and actually it refers to also the idea of sort of old-fashioned hand cranking, where the camera, when the cameras used to be hand wound, movie cameras, you would over crank the camera to create slow motion. So it seemed to encapsulate a lot of different ideas. Maybe it just takes, when you take more time in doing something, the results are slightly different. The timing of the exhibition is significant for Peacocks in a way because at the moment we are taking on new premises. And we've also got a new director here at Peacocks, Nuno Sacramento. So with that will come many changes. So it's quite nice to stop and look back at what we've been making in printmaking for 7 years. Often you see things in retrospect. When you're involved in an activity, what's so nice about printmaking is you're on the shop floor, so to speak. And an artwork it can't really be judged in the making. In the making, you involve yourself in the community, and the community is the community of the workshop are all the people who come in to use the workshop, the artist, the printmakers, the kids who are in doing kids classes, and really that's about the journey and not the destination. The artwork will be judged through cultural lenses. It's an interesting point to stop now and review what we've been doing for 7 years and let an audience maybe judge if it has meaning, if it brings joy, if there's criticism. I think this is it's significant exhibition in the sense that Peacocks is we're kindly invited by the Byrne to show the body of work there. I mean, the Byrne has got, if you look at the events programme for the Byrne, they cover so many things. They've got a musical programme, they've got a cinema programme, they've got children's workshops, they do adults classes. I mean, many of the things Peacocks does and the Byrne do have many different crossovers. Both organisations hope to deliver lots of different types of art activities, and I think the northeast Aberdeen as a city is enriched by its artistic offer. Cities become successful, regions become successful artistically when there's an investment into arts, and I think there can always be more. But I think the organisations that deliver a lot of these services for the communities here in Aberdeen and Aberdeenshire, I think they're full of very resourceful, thoughtful, skilled professionals who really put on a lot of interesting events and activities that are really open to all. Many of them are free, but I think we compete well. Not that we're in competition, but it's not a cultural desert, so to speak. It's really quite enriched. Peacocks were very lucky to be invited by the Byrne to put on this exhibition. It can be seen as a collaboration where we're taking our work off-site and we're presenting it in another location. And I know most arts organisations, they want to be unique, they want to build their own programme. The investment that's made in them with the public purse and the offer that they return, it really is a tremendous offer, and it's one that really enriches the landscape of the northeast. And and Aberdeen, it's there for Aberdeen City as well. I mean, and these are all the ambitions Peacocks has. So, you know, it's a wonderful sort of dovetailing, and it's an organisation that shares many of the same goals and has some of the same sympathies, but always is trying to present art in more meaningful ways, imaginative ways, and most importantly, present shows, events that include everyone and make them affordable or make them free. And that builds communities, and that when you build communities, you build a better environment. The 7-year period looks at it's been a very interesting time in the life of Peacock Visual Arts. If you go back to 2010, the period 2010 to 16, just after 2010, come up short in finding a new home for Peacocks. The circumstances out with our control. But what we do at Peacocks, I mean, that's what's so exciting being involved in the print programme. It's all about consistency. Over the 40 odd years of Peacock Visual Arts, we've made many friends. We've built many friendships, and we've built up trust. So there's many artists who come to Peacocks again and again to make prints. So, for example, the 7 years includes an artist like John Byrne, Ralph Steadman, who's in his 80th year, Frances Walker, who's in her 86th year, Barbara Ray. I won't say Barbara's age because she would kill me. But I think the point I'm making, or maybe not making a point, is, you know, there's certainly no ageist agenda here at Peacocks. I mean, in many ways, artists, the older they become, the better the work becomes. And that's mixed up with art that's from Aberdeen itself. So, you know, there really is a kind of local, national, international flavour. Internationally, we've worked with a Mexican artist, always welcome here in Scotland, Satter Ugly. Made some tremendous prints with himself. We've worked with Australian artist David Noonan, Janice Kerbal. That was very exciting. Some of the prints we made were part of the 2016 Turner Prize display, so that was a real high point for Peacock. Worked with Hugh Rowson, a local artist, makes really fascinating works. There's a whole host. I mean, you'll see 30 to 40 artists, and that's just a selection of who we've worked with. And all different types of prints, screen prints, lithographs, monoprints, wood blocks. We're making reduction wood block prints at the moment with a London artist called Tom Hammick. We're making a whole series of new works, Journey to the Moon, that are going to be shown in New York. It's the most current thing we're making, and sometimes that feels like the most significant because, of course, all art you make and the times you make them is contemporary. So the most current thing we're making sometimes feels the most important because all our energies are poured into that. And I think Journey to the Moon really, the idea of the journey sums up some of the things we're trying to do here at the printmaking workshop. Our new director, Nuno, is very keen to initiate Peacocks in a new project he's entitled Free Press. Well, Free Press isn't a new idea in any way. When you think about Free Press, only 13% of the world's population enjoy what we know as a free press. So it's maybe more salient in these times than any other times. The project Peacocks are hoping to engage in involves finding new artists as citizen journalists who want to make small publications, and we hope to distribute them around the city. I mean, in the age of bloggers being read more than the mainstream media, I think there's a whole generation of young people with lots and lots of things to say, and lots of information has been shared in social media, etc. If we can harness some of these voices, maybe it's time that these citizens, as we're calling them, will describe some of the things they see in the everyday, and use the matrix of printmaking as a way to describe some of their own experiences and distribute them without any fear of censorship. But they'll turn up on tables as ambiguous forms, and I think that's what's exciting about art. that they engage people on that level with both fact and fiction, but definitely adds something that enriches lives rather than makes people feel threatened or marginalises people. The printmaking studios of Scotland are very fortunate because they've been funded, collectively funded, by the government for, well, Peacocks for over 40 years. And I think if we look at the history of Peacocks in the beginning, I mean, it was set up by a group of artists who they really wanted the machinery to make prints, but it was definitely an egalitarian model where it was always inclusive. We seem to be in an art world where the idea is privileged over the experience, and the people in power in the art world are often writers rather than makers. And I think as long as there is a facility to help make art that encourages collaborative working, making new friends, learning new techniques, involving people, putting on kind of learning activities, surrounding the project with different models that will benefit a much wider public, I think printmaking studios will continue to be significant because they really establish a base that allows people to, basically empowers them to make art. It encourages them out of the studio, away from a kind of isolated practice, and introduces them to a kind of larger landscape, a wider community, and new ideas that can only, sometimes it benefits the practice, sometimes it enriches the practice, and it enriches the community and the world round about them. And I think there'll be something for everyone.